3 weeks ago, I published my first English video in this channel. And since then, I got almost 10,000 impressions, a CTR of 4.3%, 30 plus subscribers, and countless comments. Now, my question is what worked and what didn't, right? And so today, I just want to share with you my thoughts about why small YouTube channels can grow in 2025. So the first thing I want to say is to actually thank each one of you who has watched and even subscribed or left a comment and a like on my channel. After all, like speaking to 500 people, imagine that. One of my videos, the first one I've published here, I got almost 500 views. That's a lot. Imagine giving a talk to 500 people. That's a big audience, actually. And so I really want to thank each one of you. After all, most of my videos, they have barely no editing, no sound, no fancy stuff. So yeah, you just stayed here for a couple of time, having a good time with me, I hope so, while I was sharing a couple of thoughts about this channel, my goals for this channel, and a couple of things that I have done and or achieved so far. The second thing I want to approach is how I was feeling right before hitting publish. After all, many of you already know that I'm a non-native English speaker. I live in Lisbon, Portugal, and I really want to build this YouTube channel to become something big, something that has impact, that helps people around the globe, and that English will be my main language on this channel. However, I think that it's quite like I think I need to share with you how I was feeling back when I shared my YouTube channel, my first video here on YouTube. Because as many of you also, I just saw a lot of comments from people who were also non-native English speakers. And what I can tell you is that yes, I was pretty afraid and anxious back then. I had my feelings, my emotions, my thoughts all over the place. And it was only when I sit my ass in front of the camera to start recording that I realized that after all, this is something that I really want to do. I really want not necessarily to speak to a camera, obviously, but this is a mean to an end, and the end itself is for me to have an impact and to actually bring something to other people's lives. And so there's no other way around than me to just sit my ass in front of a camera and speak to you. And so when you face when you face that sort of certainty around something, you know you got to do it. You got to give that first step, no matter if you are afraid or anxious, no matter if all you want is just like to delete the video instead of publishing it. But actually, you feel it, you know that you got to do it. And so ultimately, that was my thing. I was afraid, I was anxious, I was thinking about the fact that my English isn't perfect and like, oh, like my face is going to be out there on a YouTube video speaking in English. Like, what would that be? And yet I just hit publish after shooting my first video, and boom. A couple of weeks after, just 3 weeks after, I got like hundreds of views, dozens of subscribers and comments, and it's really awesome just to be able to speak to a camera, hit publish, and see a lot of people, a lot of you resonating with both the journey and the content that I'm currently either going through or creating for you. The third thing I want to talk is about being yourself in front of a camera. So nowadays we start living in these AI generated content internet, like AI content all over the place. And I think that, like, I do believe that yes, there is a lot of room for us humans to just create content, keep creating content and engaging with people and building audiences with whom we engage and building communities out of it. But most importantly, I think that the first step for you to actually start is by being authentic, by being yourself. Just try to talk to the camera if you want to create content, and if that content is video, just talk to the camera as if it was a friend. Talk to the camera as if you were talking to yourself. So just like just let it shine, let be yourself. Try to bring your vibe to the camera and your personality as well. And of course, we all make mistakes. I do make a ton, and yet, like, this is life. We just gotta keep doing it and keep doing what we love. And if it is content, just start today and start by being yourself, by being authentic with yourself. Don't try to wear a mask. Don't try to be something that you are not. Don't try to be someone or just like someone just pretending. Like, don't do that. I saw a lot of comments of people saying that they actually wanted to also launch a YouTube channel and start creating content, but some of them I understand. They told me that they struggle with being in front of a camera, exposing themselves. Like, they can't be authentic and or be themselves. And I think that's the first step and the most important one. And about being yourself is like, don't try don't try to speak about subjects that you know nothing about or barely nothing. For example, in my case, I know that I'm still learning. I'm learning this YouTube thing. I'm learning how to put a video together, how to write an outline, how to speak to a camera, or how to come up with a thumbnail, like all of that. And I know what I can talk about, and I can talk about subjects and topics that I have either some experience, I have lived through them, I have bled for them. And I think that being authentic on camera and being yourself is exactly about that. It's not about pretending, it's not about trying to create content around something that just because you are passionate about it, you barely don't know what you are talking about. Instead, it's just like try to go deep and do these self-development and self-knowledge path first, about learning about yourself, learning about who you are, and then come up and come to the camera and just start talking about whatever that journey, for example, has been. you know that would be awesome. Last note about being yourself and being authentic in front of a camera is, instead of trying to talk to everyone, just try to talk to your people. Just sit down one day, grab a piece of paper and start writing, like, who are you talking to? In my particular case, I know that I'm talking for people like in their 28s to 30s, and who are currently going through life. They want to create content. Perhaps they have a full-time job where they are not necessarily fulfilled or happy, and they want to design a different life. They want to reinvent themselves. They feel like outsiders. They are divergent, as I call them. And being a divergent myself, being an outsider myself, I know that I'm speaking to my younger self, where I'm just trying to share about things that I have either lived and or think nowadays that would be useful for someone like me, but just a couple of years ago. So the fourth thing I want to talk here today is about what is next for this channel. So the first thing is, I really want to document my journey. I think like it would be so great, so awesome. I would be so excited if I was able to just like watch the journey, watch videos about the journey of people that I really admire, who have gone to do a lot of things so great in life. And that, unfortunately, because they haven't documented their journey while they were building whatever they have built, it becomes impossible for most of us to know where they came from, how was it, how was the whole journey, and all of that. After that, I also want to share my thoughts. I want to share my learnings, everything that I have been learning over the last couple of years, either in consulting or building my own startup, creating my own content, but also what I'm going to learn moving forward. I am currently like engage in so many different things, from AI to copywriting. I think like most of these, they are so exciting that I really want to share with you. Most of all, like, so that it can actually help you to advance the goals you have. And then I really want to build in public. I want to build in public. I want to show the behind the scenes of everything that I'm currently doing at building my YouTube channel to keep creating content. I want to scale into a newsletter. I want to scale to other platforms. I want to do all of that. And ultimately, I really want to attract like-minded people. I mean, I know my values. I know my beliefs. I know that I prefer calm versus the born hustle. I know that I prefer consistency through systems instead of relying on motivation. I know that I believe in long term thinking and long term goals instead of short term satisfaction. I also want and prefer and believe that vulnerability is strategy. And so I really want to bring all these topics together under one channel, this channel here, and share everything with you, and hear your feedback and engage in conversations with all of you. And the fifth thing, like the last one, is just like I know that I have some leverage, perhaps. I know that I may have a bit of leverage here because, yes, like I speak a couple of languages and English. Yes, I know that I am quite capable of articulating my thoughts and my words. But let me tell you that it is just because I've put so many hours into learning the craft and mastering it. So, what I want to share is just like, don't give up. Don't think that just because perhaps you don't necessarily speak the same English as I or any other people that you see out there, you are capable of it as well. Okay, so just start, just find a couple of subjects, a couple of topics that you are passionate about or that you know really well or that you have some sort of expertise or have lived, and get a camera and start recording, start shooting a couple of videos. And by practice, by consistent and deliberate practice, you will be able to start improving at each video you create, at each video you publish. Trust me, things will start to improve. And when you, yeah, someday, if you have some faith, trust me, it will come to you. You'll be able to achieve the sort of life you want and build the dream life that you have always dreamed of. Okay, so that is exactly what I'm currently doing. I'm putting a lot of work into creating these videos alongside with my full-time job and other side hustles I currently have, and yet I'm putting a lot of work into creating these videos and just talking to you and being here. And yes, I want to keep being here every single week to bring you other topics and stuff that I truly believe will help you to build a more fulfilling life where you can actually take advantages of the fact that you are an outsider, a divergent, someone who feels that doesn't fit. And I'll give you the tools. I'll share with you the right books, the right tools, the right paths you may have to take for you to take an advantage of the fact that you are a divergent. Okay? So, see you on the next week, and thanks for being here. By the way, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Okay? See you. Bye.